Take a moment to look around your home. Are you using your space properly? Our friend Sarah Shirelli from Artful Conceptions is back to explain what space planning is and why it's important. My kind of space planning, Sarah, is put everything in and hope it fits on the wall you want it to go in, and where are the outlets? Is that not what I need to be focused on?
So not what you should be focused on. So, when we do space planning for a client, no matter what the setting, whether it's commercial, residential, retail space, we really do it and focus it on what is best for that client and what the approach is and what they need it to be. So if it's residential, we're looking at how do they want to feel in the space? How do we create something that flows for them, works for them for their environment, is inviting enough? If it's a guest room, it's inviting enough, but not too inviting that they want to stay forever. Those kind of things. Like, how do we plan that out? And that's all the furniture layouts and the colors and the schemes of what we do together.
I'll say some of the things that, you really don't think about too much. And I know you've got some pictures, and so you talked about a lot that we're going to cover. I know first, residential.
Yes.
Tips, suggestions, how-tos. What are we looking at?
So, I love this. It's a great guest room. It's fun, it's airy, it's welcoming, but it's also a color that you don't necessarily want to live in every day all the time. So again, great guest room. Then that's more, more family welcoming spaces where you want to be there. They're cooling, they're calming, give you great traffic patterns. It's inviting. We've got enough seating for everybody so that it can be a place where everybody can really be sitting and being. And then when we get to more of our retail spaces, we create passageways and we create ways to block things off so that you go around the retail environment the way we want you to go around the retail environment.
Sneaky, sneaky, Sarah.
Sneaky, sneaky, because we know by psychology that everybody wants to walk into a space and go to the right.
Yes, I'm one of those people.
99% of the population wants to go to the right. So we make you go to the left.
Oh, and now why is that?
So because you're going to stay in the retail store for about 30% longer than you would if you go to the right.
Interesting.
So if you're there longer, you're going to spend more money, which means that business owner is going to be so much happier because now you've spent more money in their store because you stayed longer and it took your brain longer to process everything that's in there.
Well, some of those pictures we were just taking a look at showed like objects and how they were placed. And do you have any tips for that if someone is trying to say, I know I want these objects to go together, I think I want them here? Any rules of thumb that we can keep in mind?
So, we always have to keep scale in mind because scale is huge in our space planning. And a lot of times the biggest mistake that people make is they get these small little things that they think are so cute. And then we put it on this big, huge, massive table, and now it looks like, that view when you're looking down from the airplane and all the little cars look like Matchbox cars. That's what you've created. So it's a lot of times I tell people go 3 objects that are bigger and graduate down in scale to give the right planning on it versus, oh my gosh, I love all these little pieces. They're great, but they need to go in a little space.
Well, what if you're dealing with a little space overall? How important, I would think, the average person would think that if you have a small space, space planning means even more. Is that a misconception? Because it doesn't matter what size, space planning is always key?
Well, I think space planning is key no matter what, because we know we can create a design that's going to function correctly for you. But yes, when you have a small space, it's super important because everything has to have multi-functions. So, your cocktail table that needs to transform into an ottoman, which needs to transform into a fold-out sofa. Those are the kind of things that we need to make sure we're working in those super small spaces.
Well, Sarah, I got to say, I always, steal you away and talk residential, but I think we do need to point out that you do work with business owners, and of course you gave some examples there, so you don't discriminate. You're willing to help anybody, and again, get that function across that people want to get across, right?
Absolutely, because really our goal is that I think design belongs everywhere. And so, we want to work with those business owners. We want to do the tricks that we know that what the right colors are to work in an office environment to get your people working more productively. We want to teach restaurant owners how to get people to order more food by the right colors and placements and layouts.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Man, I think we could continue this segment even longer. But again, if you are interested in any of Sarah's services, which with the list of that, she can help you no matter what. There's her website. There's the information on her screen. Artful Conceptions. Sarah, we always love when you're here and love your ideas. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.